Welcome to our channel. In this session today we are going to learn stabilization in amplifier circuits, different types of stability factors, and regarding biasing we are going to learn biasing technique. We are going to learn fixed bias circuit. Okay, and coming to stabilization technique, why it is important? What is the need for stabilization in amplifier circuits? So when the temperature changes or the transistor is replaced, the operating point also changes. The operating point is changed, the transistor drive into undesirable region, thereby output signal is distorted. That is, output signal is not exactly same as the input signal shape. The signal output signal shape is going to alter. It is not exactly resembles like input signal. That is distortion. So in order to get faithful amplification, the operating point must be remain stable where it is fixed. This is necessary to make the operating point independent of these variations. So let me tell what is the definition of actual stabilization. It's nothing but the maintenance of the operating point stable is known as stabilization, or it's the process of making operating point independent of temperature changes or variations in transistor parameters like beta and VB, known as stabilization. Okay, so let me tell some factors. Which are the factors affect the stability of the operating point? They may be temperature dependence of collector current, change of base to emitter voltage and beta due to replacement of transistor, and next one is thermal runaway. So then coming to the stability factors. So here, due to various factors like temperature dependence of collector current, change of VB and beta due to replacement of transistor, and also thermal. Due to these factors, we need some problem that there is we are going to have the problem where we are going to observe the shifting in the operating point of the transistor. Due to this, the stabilization is going to disturb. First one, the temperature dependence of collector current. That is, the collector current of the common emitter amplifier can be given as beta IB plus 1 plus beta of ICB. That means it is going to depend upon the two values, current gain as well as reverse collector leakage current, that is ICB. So if you observe this ICB, that is collector leakage current, doubles for every 10 degrees centigrade rise in temperature. Therefore, change in temperature changes the collector current. If the collector current changes, the position of the operating point also changes. This necessitates the stabilization of the operating point, that is to hold IC, the collector current constant in spite of the temperature variations. And meanwhile, due to variations in VB and beta, that is, whenever we are going to replace the transistor by, even though if we replace the same transistor of the same type, we may have some changes in the values of base to emitter voltage as well as current gain of the transistors. So even the transistors are replaced, they are varied. When they are manufactured by the same firm and one of the same type, further VB itself decreases when temperature increases. When a transistor is replaced by another, the same type, these variations are going to change the operating point. This necessitates to stabilize the operating point. And third one is thermal runaway. As we have seen that the collector leakage current increases with rise in temperature, no? So due to this, the flow of collector current produces heat. As the collector current leakage increases, the collector current also increases, due to which the heat is going to produce within the transistor. So this rise in temperature damages the or destroys the transistor. This process is continuous. It's cumulative due to since it is cumulative, the transistor itself will destroy. And let us see some stability factors in common emitter configuration. So it is first here in this syllabus, in this session, we are going to deal three stability factors. First, let us discuss what is stability factor. It is desirable and necessary to keep the collector current constant. First of all, in order to safeguard the equipment, the collector current should not rise or decrease. Whatever the changes is going to happen in the transistor or in the supply, whatever it may be. So it must keep constant. The value of the collector current should remain constant in the face of variations of ICBO. The extent to which a biasing circuit is successful in achieving this goal is measured by the stability factor. What is the goal here? That is to keep the collector current constant, whatever the changes or whatever the variations are going to happen in the circuit or in the values of ICBO. Okay. And let us define what is stability factor. It is generally it is denoted by the letter S. So the rate of change of, generally it is defined as the rate of change of collector current IC with respect to collector leakage current ICBO, where the beta and VBE are going to get constant. Once again, the rate of change of collector current with respect to collector leakage current, that is ICBO, at constant current gain and base to emitter voltage, where these two values are going to remain constant. So it is defined, it is given in the mathematical notation, it is given as the change of collector current can be given as DIC with respect to change in the collector leakage current, that is DICB, where beta and BB are going to get constant. It is also determined as delta IC by delta ICBO, where beta and BB are kept constant. Okay. Next, the ideal value of FC is 1, but here it is never possible to achieve in practice. But in practice, the tolerable value of FC is less than or equal to 25. So ideally, the stability factor should be 0. Practically, the stability factor should be as low as possible. Thus, a high value of stability factor indicates poor stability and low value of stability factor indicates good stability. So a measure of a transistor amplifier's bias stability equal to the rate of change of collector current with respect to reverse saturation current. Moving on to the next stability factor, it is SV. So it is defined as it's another stability factor where we are going to take the denominator different value. In all the cases, we are going to bother about the change in the collector current only. So it is defined as the ratio of change in the collector current, that is delta IC, with respect to the change in the base emitter voltage, delta VBE, with both leakage current as well as transistor gain, that is beta, held constant. So in earlier cases, that is stability factor, beta and VB are kept constant, and in this case, it is calculated by taking that is delta IC with respect to delta VB, where ICO as well as beta are kept constant. And moving on to the next one, stability factor S beta, another one. So here it is defined as the ratio of the change in the collector current delta IC with respect to change in the transistor gain, that is beta, keeping both the leakage current ICBO and base emitter voltage are going to get constant. So here we are going to take the change in the current with respect to the change in the current gain. Beta refers to the current gain. Okay. So where the collector leakage current and base emitter voltage are kept constant. Let us derive the expression for stability factor in common emitter configuration. So first, the expression for collector current in common emitter configuration can be given as IC is equals to beta IB plus 1 plus beta of ICBO. This is the general equation of collector current in common emitter configuration. So if you differentiate the above equation with respect to ICBO, we'll get dIB by dICBO is equals to, since IC is constant with respect to ICBO, it will be 0 plus, this will get cancelled and you will get 1 plus beta. So from this, what you will get, dIB by dICBO can be given as stability factor. Actually, this is D, small mistake here. Here DIC by DICBO. Differentiating the above equation with respect to DICBO, what happens this side? DIC by DICBO. It is equals to, here this is constant and with respect to ICBO we are differentiating now, so this will be 0 value, and differentiating this term we will get 1 plus beta. So what is this delta IC by delta ICBO? It can be written as stability factor, that is S. It is given as 1 plus beta. Suppose if beta is equals to 100, in general for common emitter configuration, the current gain is going to lie 22,500 value. No, suppose if it is 100, then the value of S is 101. Okay. It means that the collector current changes 101 times with the change in the reverse saturation current. This is the meaning of the stability factor. Here, based upon the stability factor value, the collector current is going to change that many times with the change in the reverse saturation current. So in a common emitter circuit, the collector current is highly dependent upon the reverse saturation current and hence upon the temperature. Thus, there is a strong need to provide bias stabilization in common emitter circuits to improve the stabilization factor. Moving on to the next topic, fixed bias circuit. So what is why we need proper biasing in amplifier circuits? I think we have already discussed in the previous sessions, but even though I'll explain again, if the transistor is not biased properly, or if it is not biased correctly, it would not work properly, and second thing, it will produce the distorted output. In order to produce a distortion-free output in the amplifier circuits, when the transistor is going to operate in the active region, the basic purpose of transistor biasing is to keep the base emitter junction properly forward bias and collector base junction properly in the reverse bias. That is, the transistor should be operated in active region. The process of raising the strength of a weak signal to the required level, that is without changing its general shape as well as its frequency, is known as faithful amplification. The key factor for achieving the faithful amplification is that base emitter junction of transistor remains forward bias and the collector junction should remain in the reverse bias. This is known as transistor biasing. And let us see what are the essentials of transistor biasing circuits. That means should ensure proper zero signal collector current, and also it should ensure that VC does not fall below 0.5 volts. Establish the operating point in the center of the active region, the characteristics, transistor characteristics. Stabilize the collector current against the temperature variations and making the operating point independent of the transistor parameter. So here in this topic, we need to learn three methods. First one, types of biasing circuits. So there are three types: fixed bias or base resistor bias. And second one is collector to base bias or biasing with collector feedback resistor. And last, potential divider bias or self bias, or we can also call it voltage divider bias or universal bias. So first, let us see the fixed bias circuit. The transistor amplifier circuits drawn so far, the biasing is done with two proper supplies, that is VBB and VCC. This VBB is generally used in the input region of transistor, and VCC is used for biasing for external circuit of transistor. The VBB supply is used for biasing the base emitter region, emitter base junction, and VCC supply is used for biasing the collector base junction. However, using biasing circuits, one power supply is used for biasing both the junctions of a transistor. Here in the given figure, there is the NPN transistor which is connected in common emitter configuration with fixed bias. In this method, high resistance RB is known as high resistance, is connected between positive terminal of the supply, that is VCC, and base of the transistor. Here the required zero signal base current is provided by plus VCC and it flows through the RB, resistance RB. This is the circuit diagram. We observe the circuit here. There is a NPN transistor which is connected in common emitter configuration. And if you observe the diagram here, there is only one power supply, that is plus VCC, and this RC is the collector resistance, and there is a resistance RB which is connected between the positive terminal of the VCC and base terminal of this transistor. Okay. VBE. If you redraw this diagram, we'll get like this. See here, the current is going to flow in this direction. So here, the single source of the voltage VCC makes the emitter base junction forward bias and the collector base junction reverse bias. And applying it, see here. We apply the Kirchhoff's law in the output side. What happens? In the output side also we are going to have the supply. See here, if we arrange this, negative terminal is connected to this emitter. The same here we are going to have like this. Okay. Now in the figure, the base emitter junction is forward bias because base is positive with respect to emitter. No. See here, the base is positive. See here, it is VCC positive terminal is connected to the base and emitter negative terminal is connected. So with respect to emitter, base is positive. So it is forward bias. By proper selection of RB, resistance RB, the required zero signal base current, and hence IC can be given as beta IB can made to flow. Should be remembered that the transistor is a PNP. Then the resistance RB is connected between negative terminal of the supply VCC and base of the transistor. So in PNP, base is of N type, no? That's why in order to make this input region forward bias, the resistance RB is connected between the negative terminal of the supply as well as base, so that the input region of the transistor will become forward bias. So let us consider the base circuit in the given figure. So applying KVL to the base circuit will get plus VCC minus IB into RB minus VB is equal to 0. See here, to apply VCC minus IB into RB, voltage drop across this resistance RB, and minus VB. This closes the loop. Okay, VCC minus IB into RB minus VB is equal to 0. So here in the terms, what you will get? IB into RB is equal to VCC minus VB. So from this, the base current IB can be given as VCC minus VB by RB. Make this as equation number 1. So the supply voltage VCC is of fixed value. Once the resistance RB is fixed, then what happens? IB is also fixed. Hence, the circuit is called fixed bias circuit. See here, if you observe this equation, the supply voltage VCC is fixed, and meanwhile, based upon the manufacture of the transistor, the VB value is also fixed. For silicon, it is 0.7, and for germanium, it is 0.2 to 0.3. And meanwhile, the resistance RB is also fixed. So entire this values are fixed. The resultant base current is also fixed. It also comes out fixed value. So whenever this IB base current is going to have fixed one, then the outcoming collector current from this transistor also fixed value. That is IC is equals to beta into IB, no? So by this relation, whenever this base current is going to remain constant, the collector current also remain fixed. Since here IB is also fixed, and this circuit can be called as fixed bias circuit. And moving on to the next one. So let me tell some advantage of this circuit. Okay. Then after this, let us see what happens in collector output side. Let us consider the collector circuit for the same circuit. If you apply the KVL to the collector circuit, you will get VCC minus IC into RC minus VC is equal to 0. I will show once more this diagram. VCC minus IC into RC minus VC is equal to 0. Yes. From this, the VC can be given as VCC minus IC into RC. So rearrange the terms, you can draw the relation for IC, that is collector current, which is equals to VCC minus VCE by RC. Okay. So from this, VCC will be remain constant, RC is constant, and this VC also constant because the IB value remains constant. So entire value, there is a collector current will be fixed. Let us solve the stability factor for this. So the stability factor can be given as S is equals to 1 plus beta by 1 minus beta of DIB into DIC. Okay. Next. From the equation 1, what is IB value? VCC minus VB by RB. No? So differentiating the above equation with respect to IC, we will get div by dic is equals to 0. This entire value will become 0 by this constant. So substituting this value in the equation 4, that is, what is that value? We'll get, we'll substitute div by dic as 0. What happens? This will become 0, 1, and then s will becomes 1 plus beta. Okay. Thus, the stability factor in a fixed bias is 1 plus beta. If beta is 100, then S is equals to 101. This shows that the collector current IC changes 101 times as much as any change in the IC due to the large value of X, due to the large value of stability factor in fixed bias arrangement. It has poor thermal stability. That's why we are going to move another biasing technique. Okay. So this is one of the disadvantage in fixed biasing network. Coming to the advantage of this fixed bias. It is simple in circuits. You are going to have small number of components which we are going to use in the designing. The supply voltage is very large as compared to the VB, base temperature voltage of the transistor. Then the base current becomes largely independent of the voltage VB. The base here the biasing circuit is very simple as only one resistance RB is required and also only one power supply we are going to use. And it is easy to fix the quiescent point anywhere in the active region by simply changing the value of base resistance, that is RB. Moving on to the disadvantage, this method provides poor stabilization and the stability factor is very, very high. Therefore, there are strong chances of thermal runaway in this fixed biasing network. Let us discuss why this fixed bias is seldom used. What are the main reasons? So with the rise in temperature, the cumulative action is going to take place. No, that is what happens. The collector current goes on increasing because when the temperature rises, ICBO doubles. When ICBO increases, collector current rises. When collector current rises, it's going to produce the heat. Due to heat, the temperature is going to rise. It's going to rise. So this process cumulative in action. So on the collector current goes on increasing. This circuit provides no means to stop a self increasing collector current. Therefore, the operating point is not stable and it leads to thermal runaway. The situation can be shown in the next figure. I will show how it is going to happen. Since IC is equals to beta IB, and the base current IB is already fixed, the current IC is solely dependent upon beta value. For example, if beta increases due to transistor replacement, then IC also increases by the same factor as IB is constant. In this fixed bias, IB is constant. Okay, so other factor is the collector current is going to change when the transistor is going to have the displacement by another one of same type. Where the beta is going to change. Whenever beta is going to change, IC also change. The operating point will shift. So the stabilization of the operating point is very poor. Therefore, the biasing circuit needs some modification. Due to these disadvantages, this method of biasing is very, it is used very less, rarely used. What are that? Mainly due to less stabilization factor, that is poor self-stabilization and due to change in the operating point, this type of fixed biasing network is used very rarely. This leads to thermal runaway. If you observe, see here. So when temperature rises, ICBO rises, ICBO rises, ICEVO rises. When ICEVO rises, collector current rises. When collector current rises, it produces heat. Due to rise in heat, temperature increases, and this process is cumulative. This process is cumulative, and what happens due to this cumulative action? It leads to thermal runaway. This causes the self-destruction of the transistor. This causes the self-destruction of the transistor. So in order to overcome this disadvantage, we are going to move another methods of biasing. In this session, we are going to learn collector to base resistor method as well as fixed voltage divider biasing network. And also we are going to learn some stability factors regarding these method of biasing networks. So let me recall what we have learned in this case. We have seen different stability factors. This depends on the rate of change of collector current with respect to collector leakage current. And here, practically the stability factor should be as low as possible. The high value of S indicates the poor stability, whereas low value of S, that is stability, indicates good stability. That means a stability factor gives a measure of a transistor's amplifier's biasing stability equal to rate of change of collector current with respect to reverse saturation current. Fixed biasing circuit. So in this case, we are going to use only one power supply, that is VCC. With this one power supply, we are going to make the input transistor region forward bias and output collector region reverse bias. But this type of fixed biasing network is going to have one disadvantage, that is it provides poor stabilization. Because of this, it is very, very rarely used. In order to overcome this, we are going to move another biasing networks. So this I am going to stop my session. In the next session, we will discuss another two biasing networks. Thank you. On and off.